everybody, what's going on? Caden Cleveland back here again with the Oklahoma Senate, and you're joining us for another episode of Budget Breakdown. Of course, just like every week with our Appropriations Chairman, Senator Roger Thompson. Senator, thank you so much for having us again this week.
It's good to be with you again.
Absolutely. So, Senator, it's been a few weeks since we did our last video.
Yes.
This is our first video that we've actually filmed during the interim after session ended. Really, we're hoping to get an update from you on a few of the different investments that the legislature has made for this upcoming fiscal year. So I'll kind of turn it over to you and kind of walk us through a few of the updates that you have for us.
Absolutely. Good to have you again in the office. Sometimes we get the idea the legislature's here. At the end of May, everybody goes home. We don't come back till February. And there's a number of us that work year-round, and the appropriations is one of those year-round responsibilities.
For sure, yeah.
And so what do I do in June? Well, first of all, we appropriated $1.8 billion, and a lot of that's to education, transportation, healthcare, and we've talked about some of that during session.
Right.
Today I want to talk about three different areas. We gave an extra $30 million to the County Road and Bridges Fund.
Right.
And it's County Improvement Road and Bridges. That was in House Bill 2676. And we knew that we needed to replace some of the money that we'd taken over the years.
Okay.
We did this before all the flooding came. And I was out in the district yesterday, and of course we're well aware of eastern Oklahoma from Tulsa all the way down into Webbers Falls and Sequoia and LaFleur counties. A lot of these roads are still underwater.
Wow.
And so this is going to be a very, very important investment in our county roads and bridges.
Definitely.
I talked to county commissioners yesterday. It's not going to be enough. I imagine this next year we'll have to look at some additional funding back into some of our county roads. Director Gatz is doing a great job with ODOT. They've already been out $2 million of their money that they had not anticipated to be out, just simply for the infrastructure.
Gotcha.
And along the same line, we appropriated just last year $5.4 million into the emergency fund.
Okay.
A lot of this money is used to match FEMA dollars that are coming in. We did the $5.4 million. We felt like that was a lot of money to put in the fund this year.
Right.
Again, didn't know about the historic flooding.
Yeah.
And to give a perspective, in Webbers Falls, the same water levels as in 1943. So this passes the 86 flood. We're back in 1943. The difference is in 1943 there were no locks and dams. And so, but the same water level today.
Right.
So we definitely have more water that's going to be there.
So let me ask you,
these two areas are very important.
Quick question, bro, on the follow-up for these two funds right here. You mentioned the flooding that's going on right now in your district. Webbers Falls is in your district,
Absolutely.
So you've been able to see it firsthand. These funds are going to be part of the help in fixing and I guess correcting all the damage that's been done there by the flooding. Is that correct?
And that's exactly right.
Gotcha.
And whenever you appropriate money like this, sometimes questions are asked, couldn't you use that somewhere else? And the answer is always yes. The money could always be used somewhere else. But we've really this year, because we put $5.4 million in, has really been helpful. So what I will do as appropriations chair, I want to monitor this money.
Okay.
Where's this money going? How's it being matched with FEMA dollars? What is our total investment of the 5.4? Because we'll match that with FEMA dollars, it will grow. And of course, we know that President Trump has identified Muskogee and Wagner counties as being those that will receive the FEMA money.
Right.
3 counties in eastern Oklahoma, those are 2 of them, and that will be affected. So we want to make sure that money is used.
Gotcha. Okay.
The last area is just a little bit separated from that.
Okay.
We are very much for transparency. We're trying to grow transparency. The Senate's doing a great job as we talk about budget. You and I will be doing this twice a month during the interim to let people know what's going on in filming. But digital transformation, we put $15 million into that. Okay. And so I visited with Secretary Ostro last night. This afternoon at 2 o'clock, they're rolling out an online checkbook for the state of Oklahoma. So folks are going to be able to go to a website, and that website will say, here's the money that came into this agency. Here's their checkbook. Great. This is the money that's going out. And so that's rolling out today. So we're just simply into the first month out of session, and already our digital transformation begins to take place.
That's huge. Absolutely.
And that's huge for transparency. It's huge for the state of Oklahoma. And so as appropriations chair, number one, I'm going to bid the meeting. I want to learn and see what's going on. And also be able to report back to the people that, hey, we're spending the $15 million just as the people anticipated and expected us to spend to make sure that we make Oklahoma more customer friendly, but also more transparent.
That's extremely encouraging because transparency, efficiency has been just a huge focus this year, especially within the Senate, but the whole legislature altogether. And the governor, of course, has been a huge influencer in digital transformation, efficiencies, and transparency. It's very exciting to see that 1 month out of session, we're already going to see a product like that. make the state budget, make our agencies just that much more accountable and transparent to the general Oklahomans.
That's exactly right. Under the leadership of Pro Tem Treat, and I mentioned Governor Stitt, this is the number one priority.
Wow.
We want to be transparent. We want 100%. The people of Oklahoma to know what we're doing in appropriations. After all, it's their money.
Yes, 100%. Well, Senator Thompson, thank you so much for walking us through that, updating us on just a few of the new investments that have been made this year. These two, can't emphasize enough, huge investments that are going to be able to have huge impacts, especially now that we get the unfortunate task of having to clean up the tragedy of all the flooding going on in your district. But hopefully these funds will be able to help out at least a little bit, and as we move forward as a state.
Absolutely.
So, and this guy, of course, just digital transformation, efficiencies, and transparency for our state government. Always for that. Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us each week. As Senator Thompson said, we're going to be doing these videos every 2 weeks or so, maybe 2 times a month over the interim, just to keep everybody updated on what is going on up here at the Capitol and what's actually happening with the state's money. So.
Absolutely. Well, our subcommittee chairs will be coming back in probably in August.
Okay.
We'll start looking at committees again and agencies and start our work.
And you mentioned something just a while ago before we started shooting that while we're still tracking the money that has been appropriated from this fiscal year, the work doesn't stop. You're already looking ahead to next year, looking at where the key investments are going to have to be and everything like that. So just appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And guys, thank you so much. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or comment down below this video. We'll be sure to answer any questions that you have. And until then, I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks with another budget breakdown video.
Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
You said the same thing I told ya. My eyes are clear, there's no secret. I wanna know